fighting each other will seal the deal on the kings of that division, the kings of this era.
Fighting each other will seal the deal on the kings of that division, the kings of this era, the kings of everything. To our surprise, Shakur Stevenson and Gervonta Davis have reconciled. So why did we not know this before? Perhaps they both decided to keep it a secret. It wasn't until Shakur Stevenson's most recent tweet that people became aware of it. In the tweet, he thanked those who were there for him while he hobbled, injured his hand, and had surgery. As expected, Terrence Crawford, Andre Ward, and Floyd Mayweather's names were on the list. Stevenson considers these three his best boxers of all time. Interestingly, none of them have lost yet. By the end of his career, Andre Ward had a record of 137 fights with 37 wins. Floyd Mayweather boasts an impressive 50 wins in 50 fights, and Terrence Crawford has defeated 41 opponents. This has led to many comparisons between Stevenson and Mayweather, with many believing that Stevenson will match Mayweather's boxing legacy once he hits 50 wins. All these undefeated Hall of Famers and future Hall of Famers were on Shakur Stevenson's list. However, one name that caught his attention was Gervonta Davis, a sworn enemy of Shakur Stevenson. This was already unbelievable, but when Shakur Stevenson revealed how Davis reached out to him and even came to the hospital to visit, it was even stranger. It has been seen that Shakur Stevenson and Gervonta Davis used to be best friends, training together. However, the pair grew apart in their careers and became fierce rivals. Now, Gervonta Davis seems to have taken the first step in squashing their beef, but we really don't know what exactly this means, whether it's a step closer to making their fight happen or a sign that they will never meet each other again. With this rekindled friendship, Shakur Stevenson had surgery on his hand last month to fix tears in his ligament and collateral ligaments. Due to this, he couldn't defend his World Boxing Council lightweight title against Joe Cardona on October 12th. It was reported that the procedure was performed at the Surgical Center of the Rockies in Colorado Springs, where Stevenson held his training camp. At 27, Stevenson was expected to resume training in 6 to 8 weeks ahead of a planned February fight against lightweight contender William Abbs. The surgery was performed on Stevenson's right hand, sources told ESPN. There was video footage released showing the exact moment Shakur Stevenson hurt his hand badly while sparring for his highly awaited fight against Joe Cardona on October 12th in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. In the video, Stevenson, known for his quick movements, is seen in terrible pain after throwing a right hook that lacked its usual power. What followed was a grimace of pain and an instant collapse to the canvas, sparking worries for the undefeated WBC lightweight champion. This wasn't the first time Stevenson's hands have caused trouble. Last year, he sustained a similar injury in his fight against Edwin Diaz, barely escaping with a win. While his hand injuries seem to be mounting, there is growing speculation about whether Stevenson might be dealing with chronic hand issues that could cut his promising career short if not handled carefully. With his record standing at 20-0, many are asking if Stevenson's now seemingly brittle hands are his Achilles heel. The recent injury, a ruptured tendon in his right hand, required surgery to fix. Although the operation was successful, the incident raises critical questions about his future. Fans and reviewers alike are now pondering how Stevenson would fare in matchups against heavy hitters like Gervonta Davis or William Zappa, with his hands as vulnerable as they appear. One mistimed punch could spell disaster in the ring against opponents of that caliber. Stevenson's defensive mastery might not be enough to keep him standing if he's not landing those devastating blows. Eddie Hearn, Stevenson's promoter, remained optimistic, telling the media that Stevenson could return to the ring as early as 2025 with a possible showdown against Zappa. However, experts like former boxer Chris Urey are more cautious. Urey pointed out that tendon injuries are typically tricky, and the recovery process can be unpredictable. "You never know how these things will go," Urey commented, suggesting Stevenson might need more time than expected to fully heal. Interestingly, some see a silver lining in Stevenson's injury. With him out, he dodges what could have been a grueling match with Cardona, a fighter known for his power. Some pundits argue that Stevenson may have avoided a possible blemish on his pristine record by missing this fight. Cardona's punching prowess could have put Stevenson in an uncomfortable situation, forcing him to dig deeper than ever before despite the setback. The show must go on. The October 12th event in Riyadh, now missing its co-main event star, is left with Chris Eubank Jr. and Kale Zeta as the new headliners. Yuri voiced that fans may not be eager to shell out for the pay-per-view, especially with a lineup many consider underwhelming. Eubank Jr., though a well-known name in the UK, has failed to live up to expectations. His fight against journeyman Shakur isn't drawing much enthusiasm. He's been training in Colorado, but his hand injury has sidelined him. As for Stevenson, all eyes are on his return. With so much at stake for his future bouts, fans are left wondering if this injury is a temporary setback or the beginning of a recurring problem. The road to recovery may be longer than anticipated, and whether he can regain full strength in his right hand remains the burning question. Stevenson's return timeline is unclear, and any further complications could drastically alter his career trajectory. For now, the boxing world waits with bated breath to see if the young champ can bounce back and continue his road to greatness, or if this hand injury will become a recurring obstacle in his promising career. Stevenson addressed his injury publicly, expressing frustration over missing his fight against Cardona. "It's nothing you can do," Stevenson said. "I am definitely upset that I won't be able to fight in February." He added, "I have been super sharp and feeling great in camp and was planning to put on a show next month against Cardona, but I have to listen to the doctor and have these injuries fixed quickly so that I can come back stronger than ever." Originally, Stevenson's title defense was set to serve as the co-feature for the Roberto Demetrius Bivol undisputed light heavyweight title fight in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Now, he faces a road to recovery with a big 2025 fight on the horizon. How long the recovery will take remains uncertain. He was told to expect readiness by February, but given the nature of his injury, this timeline might be optimistic. Stevenson, an ESPN-ranked number 4-pound boxer and a winner in 3 divisions, was raised by Top Rank since his pro debut. The fighter from New York, New Jersey, was set to fight into the road season. Banner with Bathroom Cardino, boasting 17 wins and a loss at 32, experienced his first loss the last time out with an 8th-round TKO against Anthony Cage and Man Reed when he lost his 130 pounds title. The Stevenson belt would have been his 5th straight title fight. Mexico's Zappa, with 31 wins and 27 knockouts, is preparing for his planned clash with Stevenson within November 16th against past champion Tevin Farmer and Reed. Joe Cardina is out of the way, and Stevenson plans to go straight to William Zappa. "Obviously, we want to look for opportunity," Stevenson said. "I have another idea for myself in the Matchbook vs. Golden Boy promotion. Unlike Matchbook Boxing's plans, the WBC champion believes in changing the fortune for his English boss, Old Star, and Turkey's Alesh Sheikh as well. Stevenson aims to land a big fight for Jokerina, but had to bow out of the October 12 card due to his hand injury. The American fighter is now recovering and screening out his next opponents, considering a fight with Zappa. Stevenson, 27, was supposed to fight Jokerina, but had to withdraw due to his hand injury. He is recovering and already considering his next moves. He has another idea involving Matchbook Boxing versus Golden Boy promotion. The World Boxing Council champion believes in changing the fortune for his English boss, Old Star, and Turkey's Alesh Sheikh as well. Eddie Hearn, Stevenson's promoter, predicted a win for his company despite recent setbacks. Hearn suffered a devastating 0-5 defeat to Queensbury in June, along with recent losses of top British fighters like Anthony Joshua and Demetrius Bivol. Stevenson, at 220 pounds, turned to his ex-handler and put forth a hypothetical fight card involving Jiren Andes versus Virgil Ortiz. Hearn suggested that a Golden Boy versus Matchbook card would be crazy, but the idea is speculative depending on when Stevenson makes his comeback. A fight with Zappa could be on the cards, given the traction it might bring. Hearn also mentioned that Zappa might avoid a fight with Stevenson, tentatively setting a date for December 7 in Puerto Rico. Meanwhile, fans are asking about Masha's and his next moves. Notably, Zappa will meet Tevin Farmer on November 16th in Riyadh, with the interim WBC title on the line. This fight might double as a tune-up for Zappa against Stevenson, But Matchbook Boxing's Lynchen thinks the title fight between Stevenson and Zappa might not happen. He told Fight Hub TV, "In my view, Zappa will duck Shakur." Hearing continues to listen, suggesting that William Zappa's best shot right now is Stevenson coming off his hand operation and preparing for a fight. Zappa has a warm-up fight against Kevin Farmer, which is a nice style to gear up for Stevenson. Hearn also pointed out that Stevenson might plan to have him in that show or possibly another venue. Zappa needs to come back and secure a win, especially after his disappointing loss in his homecoming fight. Despite their contrasting boxing styles, Stevenson and Zappa are chasing a fight with Gervonta Davis, and the road to that fight is tumultuous. The fight with Zappa could help Stevenson get used to a different style,